Coming out next is an artist who is an inspiration to millions of us, yet she was inspired by Jane Siberry. Her version of Calling All Angels was an instant classic. Catch Me If I Faint. Seriously. Please welcome national treasure, Katie Lang.
I love your zest. I am profoundly moved by the timing of this bestowing of this honor on my friend Jane Siberry, because we are being inundated with ugliness and a war on empathy. And Jane Siberry has been a bastion of equanimity and compassion and spiritualism and humanitarianism. For me and for anybody who's listened to her music in depth, I can remember parking on the side of the Grand Canyon a few years ago at 4 in the morning so I could watch the sunrise. And as the sun were hitting the different levels of sediment on the walls of the Grand Canyon, I was cranking the valley, which is honestly my favorite song in life. And I was bawling. And it has changed the way that I interpret music. Jane's music has changed the way that I approach songwriting. But more importantly, as an interpretive singer of other people's music, Jane is my favorite songwriter. And because she writes from a spiritual, intellectual, yes, performance art, yes, melodies, incredibly difficult and challenging. But it's the lyrics, the spiritualism, the humanity, the equanimity. She manages to sew together the most vast pairings of people into this beautiful, beautiful moment of interdependence. And that I don't think that's easy, because I think it takes the kind of heart and soul and mind that has done the preparation and the studying and the meditation to understand what that means and what its purpose is. And so I am unbelievably honored to be standing here for my friend and for my favorite lyricist. I do think there is one lyric that I need to express, and I think it's the lyric that if you want to consider getting into the Canadian Songwriters Hall of Fame, look at this lyric and try to emulate its depth and beauty and nationalism. This stick was signed by John Beliveau, so don't fucking tell me where to fucking go. Now, she writes about dogs, right? She wrote the most amazing song about dogs. Jane, I'm sure Jane has studied all this and that and read this and that. But you know what I think Jane studies the most? I think she studies the wind and blackbirds and the way water diverts around an obstacle. I think she studies the face of a janitor in the hotel room. I think Jane studies heartbreak and the path out of it. To me, Jane is the shepherd. She shepherds us. She doesn't give us the answers, but she'll show you the path. And Jane, I am so deeply grateful for your talent. Come on up here, woman.
Well, I have some notes here, people. I wondered why they kept cutting out this one line at the end of all the inductees, people praising them. He's the most kind person I've ever met in all my life. And then they cut out, just like every other person I've met. And then they did it over and over again. I thought, well, it's really not the time to be big on separation. The more, I don't even like being called like, did you say I'm a nationalist? Or, I love Canada, but I do.
I don't think I said that.
Anyway, Katie gave me a really great tip about.
I didn't say that you were a nationalist.
Well, we both love Canada.
I said that the John Beliveau line was something cultural.
Oh, well, okay. We'll talk later. Anyway, I appreciate your tip. I said, as you probably notice, a lot of people get this and they're talking and they're sort of going like this. And Katie said, the secret to this is you soak it overnight. So. All right, I wasn't expecting everyone to think it was funny, but I think it's hilarious. Anyway, I wanted to say, when I came to this incarnation, they said I had 3 choices, and they said you can either be like a president, or you can be an Olympic ladies luge, or you can be a songwriter. And I said, okay, you choose, surprise me. Anyway, so then I said, how am I supposed to be a songwriter then? Tell me how you do it. And they said, well, they said, first of all, you don't, you have no limits. If you're really lazy, you might do the verse, chorus, verse, quieter verse. But it's much more interesting if you just have one melody for the whole song with no verse, no chorus, just a melody that never repeats, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And have fun with it and do whatever you like. And I have had a lot of fun with it, although mostly I've defaulted to the verse, chorus. But I think one of the most musical moments in my life where I really felt like I was a proper musician was when I was in a bus shelter and someone was really having a hard time, quiet, didn't say, didn't cry, and they and somehow I drifted over there and I didn't look at them. I looked just to the side of them and started singing about, you know, when you fall, mama, I'm feeling sick. Something's wrong with my arithmetic. And I wasn't really looking at them, but I felt like I was doing my job in that moment. And I think there could be a lot more of this. And in the spirit of not separation, we are all like able to draw from that poetic well. Of course we are. And so things can happen like you walk past an empty lot that's very toxic and filled with garbage and stuff, and 2 other people walk, and with just a single glance between these strangers, you go over to the field and you stand there and you sing a note and you create a beautiful chord. And when you sense it's done, then you walk on and never see them again. That to me is the kind of songwriting that I think is ahead of us, and for every single person to use our hearts and our love. And anyway, so my experience as a songwriter too is like how do you write songs? I said, well, it's an amazing feeling. It's like, it's sort of like this force comes over you and you feel almost like how a pregnant woman might feel, like, whoa, big, have to pee, and it's amazing, and this beauty and this golden love, and you haven't even thought of the words or the music yet. That's what songwriting is like, I find. And so I want to thank my sisters, Ian and Andy, and the sisters from Triumph, and Gino, my sister Gino, and my sister brother, Katie Lang, and all the other songwriters in the world who don't even know they're songwriters, but every now and then send out flashes of beauty. And I'm overjoyed with this honor. It's really, I really am a songwriter, so I thought, I'm perfect for this. And I'd like to accept this gratitude from you for all the songwriters in the world, and doesn't matter that, a few make it to the tip of the iceberg. That's fine. We're not all supposed to do that, and we all have our own lessons in whatever. I feel like my mom and dad are here. If my mom were alive, there would be such a storm of newspaper clippings between her and her friends. That's partly the joy of these things sometimes, how happy people are for us, and I really feel that. And now that I've let go of a few ego things, I feel really thrilled and happy, and so I thank you for this wonderful preamble time, happiness, and then getting to tonight. And at the end of this, I want to reassure all of you that being inducted into the Hall of Fame, Songwriters Hall of Fame, I do not plan to raise my prices. No, I'm already pretty expensive anyway. So, isn't she adorable? Oh my God. Katie, thank you for making the trip to do this. Do you have something else you want to argue with me about? Okay, so, like when Peeper Frogs starts happy, they're rising from the mud. No, they're laughing, they're singing for love at the top of their little Peeper Frog lungs, like you thought you never could, but they didn't. They did instead. You see, healing is in the air in the strangest and most poetic ways. And this is a song this verse is for all of you, and maybe particularly a certain type. The gift of your sensitivity is truly a gift, though you'll be told it's a weakness, a handicap. In fact, you will be the sound of the ocean before we see it. You'll keep us safe and on track. But this also means you might be standing in a village square, feeling nauseous and sick. You'll just be picking up what's left after all the hangings that took place there. See, it's all good. It's all fine, and we're here to remind each other that it's all fine and remove separation and judgment where we can. And help each other do that. It's not easy. Thank you for your love and your happiness, and to the founders, the visionaries of this Canadian Songwriters Hall of Fame. And it's an honor, and thank you very much.